News is your school authority. Now, we've received multiple calls from you, our viewers, on what bus companies are doing to protect their drivers and what will happen when air ventilation just isn't possible come winter.
We're getting answers to your school bus concerns. We're digging deeper into what bus companies are doing in our region and break down the state's guidelines when it comes to bus transportation. As schools prepare to return to the classroom amid the coronavirus pandemic, our Western Mass News viewers are concerned about the busing situation. Dr. John O'Reilly, Chief of General Pediatrics at Bay State Medical Center, says the best way to mitigate the spread of the virus in a bus is by cracking open the windows.
We need to minimize that, and airflow seems to be the best way.
Something the state has now mandated. Bus guidance released at the end of July requires buses to have ventilation by, quote, keeping the windows open at all times during operation. And one viewer who wishes to remain anonymous called her concerns into our newsroom. However, there is an exception to the state's rule. The guidance noting that the mandate need not apply, quote, unless not possible due to extreme weather conditions, in which case the bus windows can be closed. The problem?
What we know is an enclosed indoor space, which a school bus is a place where the virus is really going to be transferred.
And it's not just the kids you're worried about.
I hear all about the schools, all about everything else, teachers. All the school committee meetings are remote, so those people don't go near anybody. What are they doing to protect the school bus drivers?
Everyone on the bus, including the driver, is required to wear a mask. Under the state's guidance, school districts are asked to leave the bench immediately behind the driver's seat vacant to maintain a physical distance for the driver.
We're doing the first two behind the driver.
Western Mass News spoke to the executive vice president of TravelCuz over the phone. They service Franklin County Tech School, Mohawk Trail Regional, Pioneer Valley Regional, Gil Montague Regional, and Greenfield Public Schools, to name a few. Pam Riepold says they're taking the state's guidance one step further, leaving 2 benches open behind the driver for increased distance.
We have assigned one driver to each vehicle, so they don't share buses anymore.
In addition to daily health screenings of drivers, buses will be disinfected in between routes, and they'll be thoroughly cleaned in the morning and at night.
We're disinfecting our buses twice a day with a fogging system.
Under the state's bus guidelines, it says drivers should be trained to observe students upon entry of symptoms. Here's what Riepold had to say about that.
Bus drivers need to drive the bus, so having the bus driver screening the children is not the safest option at all.
Rather than having bus drivers flag for students' COVID-19 symptoms, here's their plan.
If districts opt for that, then they'll be placing monitors on the buses.
Western Mass News also reached out to the Lower Pioneer Valley Educational Collaborative, Lokrensky Brothers Incorporated, and 5 Star Transportation. We have not heard back from them. And Western Mass News is your school authority. You have questions and concerns as schools prepare to open back up, and we're getting you the answers you need. You can call us with your questions at 413-846-0200 or email us schoolauthority@westernmassnews.com.